There's just one main use case for this pattern, consisting of two parts. Use it when an object's state, or part of it, must be saved so that it can be restored to that state later, and a direct interface to obtaining the state would expose implementation details and break the object's encapsulation. We had such a use case. We avoid exposing implementation details of our command through a memento, or at least we avoided changing the internal values. Let's have a look at the pattern consequences. A major consequence of this pattern is that it preserves encapsulation boundaries. Information that only an originator should manage, but must be stored outside of the originator, is no longer exposed. It also simplifies the originator. It no longer needs to concern itself with storage management. But using mementos might be expensive if the originator must copy over large amounts of information to store in the memento, or if clients create and return mementos to the originator often. So make sure that encapsulating and restoring originator state is cheap, because otherwise the pattern might not be appropriate. And last but not least, it also tends to complicate things. We noticed that with the command manager. We're now just using one command on which we change state for undo functionality, but code tends to become cluttery and/or complex when you need to work with many different types of state that you need to store and restore. Let's check out the related patterns. The first related pattern is the command pattern, as it can use a memento to store and restore its state. That's exactly what we did in the demo. Next to that, mementos can also be used for iteration. In that case, a memento can be used to capture the current iteration state and potentially roll it back. Time for the module summary. We learned about the memento pattern in this module. Its intent is to capture and externalize an object's internal state so that the object can be restored to this state later. The memento allows doing that without violating encapsulation. As far as implementation goes, the important thing to remember is that we're working on a narrow and a wide interface. We can do that by only allowing the memento properties to be set privately. Like that, the originator can do that, as it uses the constructor for creating the memento, but the caretaker cannot. On to the next pattern, the mediator.